It's been 10 years, which makes today Vlog-A-Day rebooted 201. You resurrected me for this?
Good morning. Have a nice day. Bye. If you'd have told me 10 years ago when I started vlogging, because today is my 10-year anniversary. I've been vlogging daily since June 5th, 2016. Thank you very much. If you told me that I was going to get paid to go to Singapore to hang out and just see what was going on, I probably would have told you, yeah, of course. I mean, I believed in myself, but I might have been the only one.
I have never gotten so buzzed smoking a pipe before. I feel like I could tip over.
I mean, just look at this guy. Look at him. He has no idea what's coming. We'll talk more about that here in a second, but first, coffee. So we're hanging out in Singapore, and we've been here for 2-3 days now. I think this is day 3. It's hard to tell for sure. Last night's the first night that I've properly slept. So we'll see how this goes. Checking out a little bit of Singapore under the surface, like what you might not expect from Singapore. And Vance, the camera can't see you, Vance, if you're standing behind it. Kind of funny that the first place you're seeing is the least Asian-looking thing we've done so far. Copy right out of the bat. We're with the Queen of Patron here. This is Claire. There's a whole cast of characters you're gonna have to get to know really fast. It was Japanese scrambled eggs on top of that at a Burmese coffee shop, and we're with our friend Lady Gugu, who happens to also be a Burmese chef. There's chaos today, but this is the glory of it, and this is the chaos that I'm so grateful to be in. Because 10 years ago when I started vlogging, I was building furniture as a side hustle among many side hustles just to try and survive while I was living in my parents' spare bedroom. As a 30-year-old man, that Honda's amazing. Listen, things change, and boy can they change for the better, and I think that's what today's all about.
You run into that umbrella, Bulat?
Oh yes, I would like to have 2 umbrellas.
And this is Bulat, who's, I'm gonna link to him below. He's an amazing photographer. We'll tell you about Bulat in a minute. The houses on this row are Victorian era beach houses. And you might be asking, well, where's the beach? All I see are high-rises. The thing about Singapore that has come up repeatedly is that a huge portion of the land is reclaimed from the sea. Across from the Raffles Hotel used to be the ocean. That was their beach road. And here, the beach used to be at the end of the street. In fact, the way that this is built is so that the water, when it comes up, when the ocean came in occasionally, would go under the house and hopefully be not too disturbing. It sounds like it did cause some problems. And way back in the day, the turtles, according to Odd, used to actually lay their eggs under the house. That's nuts. These houses, she said, are the only ones she's ever seen in Singapore, if not in the world. It's a really unique style, and that's part of the reason that it drew her here. And if you've ever seen one like it, let me know. But this has been really, really fun. We've seen so many things on this trip that even the Singaporeans with us are like, whoa, I never knew this was here, which is exactly the way that I like to explore. I think Pearl's doing a good job of organizing it. There'll be a lot more explanation as we go. But from here, we're gonna explore Juchat. So last night we were at a party, which you're gonna see a lot more of in the video that comes out after this entire trip. But we met Ud, whose apartment we were just at, and Julie, 2 French women who live here and have lived here for a while and invited us to check out their neighborhoods. And it's just really fun to come see them as we make our way through Juchat. So the next few days are basically gonna be all about this. And a big part of the reason this trip appealed to me, we've been talking about doing this with Pearl, the owner of The Hood, for a long time coming to Singapore, is because I'm all about getting off the beaten path. And this trip is exactly about that. We haven't done a single touristy thing. Well, we've done 1 or 2 so far.
This is pretty touristy.
This is pretty touristy? Okay. Yeah. I appreciate the transparency. So now, this is the Heritage District?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is the Queen of Katong.
This is the Queen of Katong. So Katong is, and Juchat is just a part of Katong, or?
So this is Juchat Road.
Okay.
And then this part, I would say, is more Katong. So
Katong.
we say this area is Katong and Juchat.
Okay, we're starting off with non-Singaporean food and the most touristy thing we could be doing today. But it's gonna get more off the beaten path quickly. Put my foot in my mouth.
I'm sweating like a prostitute.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not kidding. Bulat was not made for this temperature. Oh, Lindsay found her spot.
Yeah, she did.
If you don't know this about Lindsay, you should probably find out very quickly. She has a thing for cats. So the tour of the neighborhood has been a whirlwind. We started with a very interesting coffee shop that's basically bringing cocktail techniques and local produce, like local flavors, into coffee and using the coffee as an ingredient as much as anything. I totally thought it was going to be a gimmick because it looks pretty gimmicky. It was delicious, like really, really well done. We popped in a couple of shops, picked up a couple of items, ended up going to a traditional Peranakan workshop where they make beaded footwear. Each of the slippers themselves actually take like 2 months to make, like for one slipper, if they put in the time. So it can take years to make these shoes, which is insane. And then tried a few traditional Peranakan treats, which were all delicious. And Peranakan, if it's a new word for you, was a new word for me when I first heard it like a year and a half ago, interviewing some Singaporean chefs, but it means locally born. So it's people of Chinese descent that were born here locally in like the 1800s and early 1900s.
Can I live here?
Very specific period of time, and it's a very, very pervasive culture here. Very interesting and full. I mean, I'm just starting to learn about it. One of the things that I've really appreciated about our time together here in Singapore is that no individual actually knows all the words for anything. There's so much crossover between cultures here that like literally everybody's like,
Like we know it, but we never forget it.
But honestly, the reason that I highlight that and that I like that is it also helps to lower the, it doesn't feel like there's a high barrier to entry. Like everybody's experiencing something new on this trip so far. And the fact that we're all collectively lost at different points actually helps it to feel really relaxed. And I don't feel like a total idiot all the time, which is very nice. After that, we popped in for some rice dumplings, but we've got a whole bunch of snacks we haven't even tried yet. We're gonna try here in a minute here at Claire's spot, which has this banana on the outside because she makes the Singaporean banana pie. That's the largest version of that artwork that I've ever seen. She said that Americans were the last people to get bananas and the first people to ever make like a recipe with them, the American banana cream pie. But she's bringing it back, and this does look really good. Oh my gosh.
Banana pies are excellent.
That's good. Bulat is a Tartar photographer who used to make films in Moscow and left for reasons that are probably pretty obvious. He's hilarious, sweet, and incredibly talented. It's been really, really fun to travel with him so far. He's been dying for the rain to come out because he's had shots in mind that he can only get that way. He's literally standing in the rain right now looking for a shot. Single-minded, amazing. Now, speaking of being single-minded, but maybe less amazing, were the intro characters. You might have seen at the very beginning of this video and been a little bit confused. Why is there a wizard at the start of Jay's vlog today? Back when I started vlogging daily, I wanted to show my commitment to it. So I started out by making intro characters. Every day of the week had a different character. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. That character would introduce the vlog with the number in series. And the very first day, my very first vlog, which you can go watch, it's been there forever, is me explaining why I'm starting vlogging while shaving my beard into different characters and saying the numbers for an entire year. Vlog-a-day 1, Vlog-a-day 8, all the way through the entire year. And I tied in birthdays and special events when I was doing that to make sure that like I never missed a day. Because if I ever missed a single day, it would throw the entire thing off. So I was dedicated from the beginning. And I did 54 weeks straight. But today is the day I filmed that. 10 years ago, June 5th, and my first vlog came out June 6th, which might be the day that you're seeing this video. From Singapore, of all places.
Boys, the bucket boys. Looking good.
We got matching shirts. Quick drink by the Gothic Cathedral before we head. Well, it's not a cathedral anymore, it's an event space, and it's surrounded by some nice little spots to sit and have a break, but we gotta go all the way up there. Today is not on theme for what this entire trip has been so far and will continue to be, so don't take too much out of it. But at the same time, it feels like a very appropriate bookend to 10 years of doing this nonstop. I'll clarify when we get up to the top. How you doing there, Lindsay?
We all thought you were talking to us, but you're not.
Thanks to Mr. and Mrs. DJ Poseurs, who I'm very happy are the Patron producers for this episode because they have been with me for a very long time. DJ Poseur, I see you. I think that the main thing that I'm taking from today, and there's a lot to show you from Singapore. We've been here, like I said, for a couple days. I'll make a longer video to come later, but I'm gonna be back to daily vlogging for the next few days in celebration of my 10-year anniversary of doing this and sharing this with DJ Poseur and a lot of other people that have been watching me for a long time. I think the main thing that I'd like to say is I'm so grateful that I stuck with it. So
Wow, I look very different. 10 years ago when I started vlogging daily, I did it as a lifeline. Like, I really wanted to just share my life. I really hoped that something good was on its way because I was in a really tough spot. I was in my parents' basement effectively, not technically, but you get it. Working random jobs, assembling furniture, or working for the Census Bureau, or just doing whatever I could to make ends meet, and had no idea that I was about to move back to Paris, that I was about to get a chance to completely change my life, that I was gonna go bankrupt. All the stuff that's in my last book, and a lot of stuff that's in my new book. The decade that was in front of me was completely opaque, and I thought that my tech company was gonna go somewhere, or one of my books was gonna go somewhere. I had no idea that it was my vlog that was gonna go somewhere. And I'm so grateful that I stuck with it, that I'm here 10 years later, that you're here watching. However many of you end up seeing this, whoever you are, wherever you are, this is going in the record. It's part of the story. And I'm so grateful that I've shared so much of my life over the years. All the way from like my parents' room in Spokane, Washington to the tallest hotel in Singapore. We were supposed to go to the helipad today. What? But they had a lightning warning, and in the end we couldn't go up for safety reasons. I'm so grateful to the Swiss Hotel for bringing us up here. So grateful to Pearl and Block 65 for bringing me to Singapore. You'll hear a lot more about that here in the coming days. And thanks to my patrons, of course, for believing in me for the last 10 years and sticking with me. There are some of them, there are 10 of them that have been here for 10 years. That is wild. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. And I hope that you'll stick with me for whatever comes next in this next chapter, because I think it's only gonna get crazier from here. Yeah.